Hola, yo soy Alberto.
Hi, my name's Ed.
Ciao, sono Stefano.
Voy a intentar aprender todo lo que pueda de francés durante los próximos 7 días.
Sto imparando il francese con Babbel e non solo.
I've undertaken the challenge to learn French within 1 working week.
Learning a language needs time. Unfortunately, that's something we're not going to have because we will be hosting a party dinner with French native speakers at the end of this week. And we hope to be speaking French with them the entire time.
So we only have 5 days of the working week where we have to be in work at 9 and out of 5. And then we have 1 weekend of intensive learning.
Never experienced talking French, just as obviously here saying merci or bonjour. The words usually come in one ear and go out from the other one. And it's the same with the accent and everything.
We had French at school, but it was my worst subject. It was the only subject that I misbehaved in and didn't listen, and I got my worst grade in it as well. So I have a little bit of a strange connection with the language because I really, really hated it at school.
I had a couple of colleagues, like French colleagues, you would always be try to exchange words. That every time they were teaching me a French word and I would try to pronounce it, they would think I was making fun of them, but I wasn't.
Bonjour, this is the second day of the French challenge. First of all, I will listen to the podcast in my way to work. So while I will be cycling. And then also listening to some podcasts during my working day. I did already yesterday, but I don't think that my boss is super happy about it, also because I'm not just listening to it, but I'm also repeating, and I'm speaking loudly, and sometimes my colleagues are just watching at me. The French challenge, it's for me very, very similar to the Paris-Roubaix, l'Enfer du Nord. A small race, but with a lot of difficulties on it. So at a certain point, you will see the difficulties for me now is that I have no time.
This beginner lesson will focus on how to count in French. In most French-speaking countries, there are no words for 70, 80 or 90, but instead for 70, we use 60 plus 10 or 70.
I just learned the strange way, the freaky way that French are using to say the numbers. Do you know that? To say 80, they're using a composed word, and the word is 80. That means 4 times. 4 times 20. They are crazy. They are completely crazy. But I'm pretty confident. Yeah, I think I can win without any problem. Yeah, he's trying to, what a morning. Je peux déjà parler le français très très bien. Already covered the tenses. Victory will be mine. Yeah, I think that he can write super good also because, usually Google Translate is super helpful for these kind of guys, but he can never have a good accent. Come on, it's English.
So this difference is not...
What are you studying here? The cloth?
But it means the T. No, no. I mean, I'm halfway in the very first course, okay? So I'm not advanced at all.
Okay.
Qu'est-ce que tu fais?
So, bonjour. I've just snuck out of work and I've left Alberto and Stefano in there working hard on their respective projects so that I can get a bit of an upper hand on them. I'm going to meet a friend of mine downstairs in a cafe. We're going to have the first French conversation I've had so far, and hopefully I'll be able to gain a bit of a lead because I'm a little bit worried they're learning too much too quickly. So here goes.
Ça va?
So obviously we have this dinner coming up on Sunday, and I think Stefano's going to do most of the cooking. And obviously I want to compliment him on how well he's cooked. So what's kind of normal?
Maybe compliment how it looks like when you get it.
Okay.
It looks delicious. Alors ça a l'air. It looks. It comes from avoir.
Okay.
Donc ça a. Avoir. And then the air. It has the air. Ça a l'air.
And then straight away the adjective.
The
Délicieux.
Donc ça a l'air délicieux. Ça a l'air bon. Ça a l'air très bon. Raconte-moi un peu ta journée d'hier. Qu'est-ce que
Hier,
tu as fait?
J'ai devoir travailler, mais j'étais un petit peu fatigué après l'étudier de français. J'ai fait 2 heures avec Babbel.
2 heures?
Oui.
Wow.
Maintenant, j'ai pu dire que je suis heureux, je suis triste, je suis déprimé, satisfait,
Satisfait, ok.
je suis excité. Et c'est tout.
C'est pas mal, c'est pas mal. Let's see if you can use that at the dinner also. the next,
Je suis satisfait.
Avant le dîner, je suis excitée.
We just spoke for half an hour or so, and about 20 minutes of that was predominantly in French. I wasn't really expecting to be able to produce much. I think my pronunciation is still terrible, but the fact that I started with a lot of the verbs and stuff means that I can have a pretty basic conversation already. So it's good fun. It's motivational for sure.
Come. As you can see, there is plenty of people with dogs around, so you get to meet people. That's actually how I started practicing my German when I moved in. But just forcing myself to go out and having to communicate with people in German. I can't believe it's Thursday already. I thought that I would have learned way more by this time that I actually managed to do. Because I don't know, like I've been putting time on it, trying to learn how to conjugate, make questions and build a sentence, you know. Also trying to learn some vocabulary, that's like the biggest part. But then I was trying to sum up everything I learned and I was like, damn it, you know, I can't even fill 4 minutes of conversation with that. How I'm gonna survive a whole dinner next Sunday? There's still a lot to be learned, let's say. I finished the beginner 1 course and I'm planning to also check the French idioms special course so I can, you know, stock up some expressions and idioms that is actually what makes your conversation a little bit more, you know, fluent. Montag? Ja, ist aber kastriert, ne? Aber trotzdem versuche er die ganze Zeit. Montag, was machst du da?
Bon, allez partir.
Santé.